Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I am George Phillips with oilpressure.com. This is my semi-good friend, John McClellan.
And that's most of the time.
And we have a very, very special guest today, Paul Dalby.
Hey, Paul.
From More Front Wing. Formerly at More Front Wing. So, gentlemen, let's talk IndyCar.
I can't wait. I love it.
Just found out this weekend that it's confirmed, Road America. What do you think?
Love it. I think it's terrific. We're still going to have Milwaukee. Is that we still going to have Milwaukee?
That's tentative.
Okay. I think we should have both of them, but I'm delighted with Road America.
Yeah, well, you bring up a good point, because unlike a lot of people, I think that both races could survive on their own, but I don't know if they're going to. If I had to bet, I'd say Milwaukee's not going to happen, but that's just a guess.
I think Milwaukee, we've seen that before where we thought it was dead. It was gone for, what was it gone, a year or two, a couple of years?
Yep.
2010, I think it was gone.
Right, and then it came back semi-successfully, I guess, for a year or two, but they've struggled there the last couple of years. So whether or not that could hold on even with or without Road America, I think was tentative. So now that Road America is back, I don't see a place for Milwaukee, quite honestly. But at the same time, we've had this discussion with other markets as well. Can Texas Motor Speedway survive with COTA? Could Detroit survive with Michigan? Now we're going to see it again. Can Milwaukee continue to survive with Road America? Yeah. What are they separated by? Hour?
A couple of hours, maybe at the most.
Yeah.
But two totally different tracks, and not that they're going to. I'd go to both of them.
Absolutely.
But there's going to be a fan base that's going to go to Road America that will not go to Milwaukee.
But if you're a fan, and I hear this argument all the time, if you're a fan of IndyCar, and let's say Milwaukee, when did Milwaukee run this year? Mid-July?
Yeah, July 12th.
And I think they were talking about June 26th for Road America.
Correct.
So if you've got 3 weeks in there, and you're a real IndyCar fan, is $30 or $40 to go to both? Is that prohibitive, really?
I'm going to go crazy. I'll see you at both tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, too. What's really cool is that this past weekend, we had a terrific race. Granted, I wasn't there. I saw it on television twice, but Mid-Ohio, and I thought that was a beautiful track. It looked great, and I'm just so excited now that after watching that this past weekend, we're going to get Road America next year.
Yeah, but I take umbrage with you calling that a beautiful race.
Well, I thought it was a great race.
It was quality for Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
Let's not.
All right.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's keep it relative.
I'm excited that Rahal won.
And that goes back to we do have the Budweisers in honor of Bobby Rahal in his 1985 or 86 win.
Both.
He won those. Okay. So with his Budweiser sponsorship, Graham won, which we don't have any Steak and Shake here, so
you should have brought shakes this morning.
I should have.
Yeah.
You could have done one thing productive. You could have been welcome.
But I would have had to have gone
the extra mile is what you would have done. The extra mile, which you're not capable of doing. But
I may not want to do it.
But getting back to Mid-Ohio, though. It does get a bad rap because the racing there, it can be boring. There have been some snoozers there. Lately, the races have been better. But I like Mid-Ohio because, obviously, I'm a traditionalist, and I do like the tradition of that track. It's sort of a quirky track, a few little odd things that go on there. I say that I've never been there. But if you notice, it was extremely well attended. And those are very knowledgeable fans that go to Mid-Ohio. And they go every year, so they're seeing something that they like.
I think that's awesome. What do you think about COTA? You think we could get COTA? Is it be good on the schedule?
Not next year, I don't think.
No.
I think at some point they will race there. It may be 3, 4, 5 years. That's my thought. What do you think?
I think you're probably in the ballpark. I think someday they will be at COTA. I worry about going to COTA because they're going to be compared to Formula One. It's just natural. You're going to be compared to Formula One, and that's a tough target to hit.
Right.
If they go there, they could put on an amazing race. They could put on the Fontana of road courses at COTA, and the first thing people are going to talk about is they're 6 seconds a lap slower than Formula One.
Well, when Champ Car used to race at Montreal, and did people compare Champ Car times to
I was watching Champ Car at that point.
That's true, because I wasn't either. But they did, so I don't know. you bring up a good point, because at the Brickyard a few weeks ago, they were comparing, on the broadcast, they were comparing the IndyCar times to stunt car times.
There was somebody that presented a side-by-side of both those races together, and it was unbelievable how fast IndyCar is.
That's what, 11 seconds a lap faster?
I mean, by the 10th, they had lapped NASCAR by the 5th lap or 6th lap.
So, but the schedule, I'll be interested to see. I think there might be a couple of surprises. I think there probably may be a surprise that no one's really expecting. We'll see about that, but...
George, do you like where it's going? Do you like where we're going?
I do, because they're talking about opening up in Mexico City. I mean, that Mexico City doesn't excite me, but it's in February, or tentatively, that's what they're talking about, to be in February. That's good. It's already been confirmed that St. Pete is moving up 2 weeks to, I think, March 11th, March 12th, something like that. So it's going to be early March instead of the end of March.
I'd like to see him go a lot earlier, though. I still think that IndyCar needs to be starting the week of the week between the NFL Conference Championships and the Super Bowl. Whenever, what is that? Last weekend of January, typically.
That would be too cool.
Well, yeah.
Because
look at the Rolex 24.
Right.
Look at sports car racing the rest of the year. You're not drawing squat really watching that.
Right.
But people love the Rolex 24. Why?
Because there's no racing.
Exactly.
It's our first race.
Exactly.
I
People
love
are
it too.
desperate.
Yes.
I would
we
go.
get to see some of our guys that we know in there.
If Scott Dixon was racing on the back of a pygmy goat at Virginia International Raceway at the end of January, I would watch it. I would watch it.
I like.
So if they go to Mexico City, or they go to Coda, or they go to Homestead, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to watch it because I am desperate for racing by the end of January. Especially IndyCar that we haven't seen since, what, September?
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it, too, is I get off on the Chili Bowl because there's competition. Some of the guys are there, and it's been barren.
Yeah.
And the Chili Bowl is fun.
Well, remember in the old IRL days, they actually raced at Walt Disney World that Saturday before the Super Bowl. And, of course, then they'd go, 6 weeks without racing again sometimes. But I always liked that. Of course, Walt Disney World is gone, but...
is it officially gone yet?
Yeah, it's gone. They tore it down.
I heard it has.
Well, I don't know if they've done it yet, but they're going to do it. But you got Phoenix, rumored to be coming back.
When does it? Yeah, but when is Phoenix?
Phoenix would be.
Where are you going?
Don't know, because you can't do it in the summertime.
You can't do what we did at Fontana and go to Phoenix in the summer.
Right.
Well, they've got these. The thing I don't like about this year is that we've got to wait 2 more weeks before our next race. This weekend and next weekend we won't be racing.
True.
That's a lot better than it was a couple of years ago when we went 5 weeks between Baltimore and...
But then you went to Japan and raced your next to last race in the middle of the night. You were totally off the radar. You had a great... Well, I remember that too. I remember complaining. You had great momentum going up there. So I think you're right. I think it was Baltimore. Then you took 3 weeks off, and then you went to Japan. And then you had like 3 weeks off again before you went to Homestead. You completely fizzled into your...
And to bring up momentum, this is beating an old drum, but I like to beat old drums.
Yeah, you do.
I still think that if you're going to race at Belle Isle should not be the race after the Indianapolis 500. You built all this momentum through the month of May. Lately, we've had great races at the Indianapolis 500, and then 6 days later, you follow up with this, what I think is generally a dud of a 2-day doubleheader at Belle Isle, which to me is the armpit of racetracks.
I think if you're going to really capitalize on the momentum of the Indianapolis 500, and IndyCar likes to have these blocks, especially of oval car racing, I think what you would like to do, and I know this would break all the rules of date equity, you come from Indianapolis and you want to start a step down, maybe you go to Iowa, which is always a very exciting race. Very exciting race. That's something that'll keep the fans, and those crickets are loud.
Locust.
Locust.
Yeah, we got the Locust going.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah, they are loud. It's like a turbo.
Welcome to Nashville.
Hey, but
Ooh,
go
like
ahead.
shiny.
Go
Okay,
ahead
yeah.
with
So you go
race.
Indianapolis, and then Iowa's always a fantastic race. Now you're in the short oval mode. If you can get Milwaukee, or the rumor has Richmond maybe coming back, that would be a great follow-up to Iowa. And then you kind of stepped them. You've gotten new fans. You've kept them engaged with exciting oval racing, but you've kind of got them out of the super high speed mode. Then you can come back with some road courses, I think. And then later in the year, you hit them with Fontana, and you hit them with Pocono again.
Well, now, Paul, don't forget Texas.
You do have Texas. You're right.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure.
Texas?
For me, Texas.
Fertilizer.
Yeah, and in the morning.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is that Texas, for me, it could be the week after Indianapolis.
But Texas in the last several years has been a bit of a dud as well. Let's be honest.
You had a great win with 2 years ago.
Last year when
Power coming on
with Carpenter.
That was a heck of a race.
Yeah,
But Dixon won by what, 6.5 seconds, 7 seconds this year?
Yeah, but you just felt that if it was like 2 more laps, Power was going to.
Last year.
2 years, yeah. But for when was it, 2012 or 13, when ABC had it prime time?
That was
a dud.
And then they did the 2 races, the duels, and
Spun the tires around.
Oh gosh, don't even bring that up.
Yeah, but Texas is coming back on its own. Somewhere in that block that you're talking about, Texas would be have a great place.
I agree.
Hey, guys,
You might want to lean forward because you may be sitting out of the shot.
Maybe so. Hey,
It's not
I
that
have a
bad, is
question. Hey, how about coming up to the last 2 races of the year? I love Rahal and Honda making a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have. Going into the season, it looked like after the open test at Barber when they first got the aero kits, that I mean, Honda had their head handed to them, even though it was just a test. And then especially heading into Indianapolis, it looked like everybody's saying, well, that's Honda's big push. They don't really care about anything but winning Indianapolis. They didn't. And then, of course, the qualifying debacle, I just thought at that point, Honda's just an afterthought.
That was horrible.
And then plus, after the last 2 seasons that Graham Rahal has had.
2?
Well, but the last 2 have been really disastrous.
Yeah, he's been, he hadn't been on the bandwagon.
He's been off since about 2010.
But the last 2 seasons have been really disastrous. Who would have thought that with 2 races in, Honda could be within 9 points of winning the championship, and it'd be Graham Rahal.
And that's something.
Nobody saw that coming.
And on a single car team.
Yeah, if Honda had a bat to swing this year, it was with Andretti.
Andretti, yeah.
And you look at Ryan Hunter-Reay's short of Iowa, his season's been disastrous. Marco's had a fairly typical Marco-ish season.
Yeah.
Had a few flashes of goodness.
A journeyman.
And Carlos Munoz has mostly been anonymous.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he shows up in the top of the 5 or something during a race.
And he won a rain-affected event at Detroit. Was it Detroit?
Yeah.
That's been it.
Yeah.
That's been it.
But otherwise, nobody expected Graham Rahal, who, as you said, has struggled the last couple of years. Nobody expected Rahal Letterman, who's struggled since what, 07?
Yeah.
Right.
They haven't been ever since the Jeff Simmons experiment has been.
Well, they made a big deal out of taking Bobby off of being the crew chief.
pit stand. Yeah. So,
maybe that's it. I don't know, but whatever they've done,
But when we saw the momentum shift, was it at Barber? He got his 2nd place at Barber, and people thought, okay, well that was nice, but nice showing for Graham there, and then he'll fall back to reality. Then all of a sudden you get to the Grand Prix of Indianapolis, and he's 2nd again, a strong 2nd. You're like, what?
His reality now is.
He's in this.
His reality now is top 5.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see this for, this is something that we can expect.
Well, a lot of people saying, oh, well, he's engaged now to Courtney Forrest. He's going to be married in November. A lot of people saying that's had a maturing effect. Could be.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think it's really the staff, the staff changes they made in the off season, and that's. I think that in reality has been the big difference.
The question will be, can they follow this up in 2016? Is this going to be a 2009 Ryan Briscoe season for him, or is this the start of a new Graham and a new Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing?
Yeah, let's see where it goes next year.
I'm pulling for that one.
If they add a second car next year, does that affect the chemistry? Because we've seen that before.
It could.
Look what happened at Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports.
Look what happened to Foyt this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyways, time flies when you're having fun. We are actually.
We should have part 2.
We are way out of time.
Yeah.
But closing comments.
Predictions.
Okay,
Who's going to clear it up?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm pulling for Graham Rahal. It's exciting. I think it's one of the best things it is the best thing that's happened this year, for IndyCar. One other thing, Joseph Newgarden, pretty good year. I think it's great, and we'll see what happens on the off season. That's a silly season.
What's your prediction for the championship?
I'm pulling for Graham Rahal.
Is that your prediction, or is that who you're pulling for?
Well, I'm going to predict. Okay.
You're a waffler.
No, I'm not. I can't go with my boy.
Predict.
Okay, predict. I think we're going to see Graham Rahal take it.
I don't see how Juan Montoya. I don't see how Mr. Montoya.
I don't either.
Loses.
I see how he loses.
No. The way he dominated at Pocono last year. Penske, what are you going to do? Bet against Penske on a super speedway? You can't do that. And then Penske's going to be strong at Sonoma. It's probably Will Power that's going to win that race, which is going to really hurt Graham. I think Juan wins this by a lot of points in the end.
I like that Pocono. It's got a dimension that it's a tri-oval. However, it's got this kind of a road course kind of feel to it. A little bit different, yeah. So
go to Pocono, by the way. If you're in shot of Pocono, get there. Great race last year. Interesting track, by the way.
I love watching it.
It's very interesting. It's like a super speed. I said it's a super speedway that mated with the county fairgrounds. Okay, very much has that feel to it.
I think you're both wrong.
Why would you think that?
I don't think Honda's going to be able to pull off the championship. And if you look at what Penske has done in the second half of the season, it's been nothing. Juan Montoya and Will Power since May have no podium. So I just don't. I think Montoya's fate is going to continue. I think Scott Dixon's going to win the championship.
Okay. Ganassi.
Anyway, we shall see. As Chris Berman likes to say, that's why they run the races.
That's great. I'll watch it.
So anyway,
George, real quick.
Oh,
let's get him back. Paul, let's have him. That's why we went overtime. We had a great time.
Do you think anyone watching this is going to really get their panties in a bunch over 3 minutes over your 15-minute time? People listen to Steph and I go for 2 hours. Why, I don't know.
Yeah,
probably because we went through about a case of these.
But they don't have to look. They don't have to look at you on that. They have to look at us.
I will grant you that.
So how do you like Nashville?
Love Nashville.
Had fun so far?
So far.
Okay.
If we ever get our racetrack back, you'll be.
Well, that's gonna be a long time coming.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will wrap this up for John McClellan and Paul Dalby. I'm George Phillips of LowPressure.com.
Cheers.